salute. Makari Page, former 4-star safety, 6'3", 192 pounds. Played in only 6 games his freshman year, obviously, with the COVID season. 2021, he played majority of special teams. He's getting a lot of praise this spring, stepping up at the safety position. I think he will be a huge asset in the secondary this year. He has the experience. Obviously, he didn't play last year a lot because the whole defensive scheme, but him being able to sit back and learn a little bit, he's going to be a good asset to the secondary, and he's going to be good for this team. Andrell Anthony, A1 go crazy in A2 this year, man. The 6'2", 185-pound sophomore wide receiver definitely brings explosiveness to this already talented young wide receiver corps. He showed he can play on the big stage, as we seen glimpses of what he can do against MSU last season when he had the 92-yard touchdown reception, and he ended up finishing that game with 155 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's ready to go. I think he's really going to be the next wide receiver to take the next step in this offense.
7, McNamara standing strong in the pocket, and it's caught. Anthony with a burst. Anthony down the sideline. Andrell Anthony, touchdown Wolverines, 93 yards like that. 37, Michigan 33. Woo! At the 17. McCarthy sprints out of the pocket.
I bet you don't get it. I bet you don't get it. I hope he don't get it.
Throws, caught! Andrell Anthony again, whatever, got it! Welcome home!
Sensational.
T.O. one time for Taylor Upshaw, the 6'4", 262-pound edge rusher, came back for his 5th and final season. He's trying to break out, finally getting the keys to be one of the best pass rushers on his team. He's waited his turn. Now I think he's finally going to show the world what he's been waiting to do. He's coming in with a total of 3.5 sacks, with 2.5 of those coming in the 2021 season. Jalen Perry, the 6', 187-pound senior, has contributed to the majority of special teams throughout his career. But I'm confident that Jalen will showcase that he's here to play. He's going to have experience as a factor for him to take some snaps this year. Don't be surprised when you hear his name more than once this fall. Donovan Edwards. 7 can go for 7 anytime he touches the ball. With the departure of senior Hassan Haskins, the dynamic sophomore running back now emerges as the second back alongside Blake Corum. Edwards carried the ball 35 times for 174 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. Also caught 20 passes for 265 yards and 1 touchdown. But remember, 170 of those receiving yards came in one game against Maryland last season, and that's a Michigan record for receiving yards by a running back. Edwards seems like an NFL-ready back just as a sophomore. I expect him to do amazing things this year. This backfield could end up even more dangerous this year than it was last year. So be on the lookout for D-Ed. R.J. Bone Crusher Moten. The 6', 221-pound hard-hitting junior safety has now officially taken over for the departed Brad Hawkins. RJ will be in control of the back half of the defense. He played a lot of snaps on the defense last year, but I expect him to improve and become a really solid piece for this secondary, maybe for the next 2 seasons. RJ has 34 career tackles and 1 interception coming against MSU. Jalen Harrell. The junior edge rusher comes into the 2022 season with a big chip on his shoulder after being behind defensive leaders and potential NFL first-round draft picks Aiden Hutchinson and David Ajabo, Jalen Harrell looks to come into the season making an immediate impact and picking up right where the defense left off last season, and that's getting sacks on the quarterback. I expect Harrell's experience with last year's team to play a huge factor in making some plays for this defense going forward and for many years to come. Mike Morris. Many of the coaches and players this spring have been talking about Mike Morris the most, as far as being that guy on the defensive side of the ball that has stepped up. Mike Morris is 6'6", 278, man. He's a big body. He can play both as an edge rusher and as a D tackle if needed. He was in the 2-deep rotation last season and has some experience on the edge of that defense. I feel like he's going to break out into being maybe the sack leader for this defense this year. Twin Jamon Green, the fifth-year senior, has decided to come back for his final season. I like the move. He was given a second round grade before the season started, but ended up being limited last season late because of a shoulder injury. In 2020, during the COVID year, he started at corner for all 6 games, and he had a team-high 9 pass breakups. In 2021, he played in 12 games, started 6 at corner, had 24 tackles, 2 pass breakups, and an interception against Northern Illinois. He will be a 3-year starter, so the experience is there, and he's a really solid player. At 6'2", he has the length to put his hands on guys at the line of scrimmage and also can play the passing lanes and deflect passes. TJ guy, and he is that guy. This is one of my sleeper alerts right now, man. TJ stands at 6'5", weighs in at 251 pounds. The former 3-star edge rusher from Mansfield, Massachusetts, is going to be a rising star in the next couple of years. As a sophomore, TJ already has the physical stature to play right away if need be in college. Has a quick burst and can use his athletic ability and speed to get around blockers to get to the quarterback. TJ recorded his first career sack in his freshman season last year in a 59-18 ass whooping against Maryland. If he can stay healthy and continue to work hard and make his way into the rotation, he can make a significant impact from the edge position, and it will also help with depth at that position. Mikey B, 2'3". Mike Berry, 6', 227-pound linebacker, is on his final ride in Ann Arbor, and he brings a lot of experience at the linebacker position, coming in with a total of 71 career tackles. Got a lot of playing time in the COVID year as a starter as the Viper. Bounced back late last season after suffering a couple injuries in fall camp. An amazing special teams player, and I think he will be a valuable piece to this defense, being that he's a senior with the leadership, and he can finally be able to play some meaningful snaps and get busy. Rayshawn Benny, 6'5", 292-pound sophomore D tackle, has been getting high praise on being that guy that can be a huge contributor to fill in at the defensive tackle position after the departure of Chris Hinton and Donovan Jeter. He has a lot of upside. I can't wait to see him really being able to get some meaningful snaps and learn this defense and be able to be that guy next to Mozzie Smith and dominate up front. Quentin Johnson, the former 4-star from St. John's out of D.C., has spent majority of his playing time on special teams. But I'm very excited to see him get some snaps this fall. Quentin has been brought up by a couple of the guys on defense this spring, and they've been very impressed with him stepping up and being possibly a rotation guy in the secondary. Chris Jenkins, the 6'3", 275-pound junior defensive lineman, has been getting high praise with his play this spring. He showed many exciting moments last season. Many coaches and teammates have been describing him as a freak of nature and in his ability to make plays on the defense. Khalil Mullings. The 6'1", 236-pound junior linebacker is who I'm hearing might get a lot of playing time on both sides of the ball this season. The junior linebacker hasn't played much in his career yet. He's been kind of dealing with a broken hand 2 years in a row. But I expect him to reach his full potential this coming season. He's been waiting his turn behind Josh Ross. With only 12 career tackles, I'm excited to see him contribute on both sides of the ball. This kid is definitely somebody you should keep your eyes out for. And maybe we might see him on short yardage takes, just like Hassan Haskins. Brady McGregor. I had somebody tell me that he was already a bust.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Braden is a former 4-star, top 150 player in the country. From Port Huron, Michigan, Braden is coming along to possibly become the next guy to take the step to get some meaningful snaps at the edge position. He's been trying to get back in motion after his injury in his senior season at high school. I literally had a fan tell me that he's not going to amount to anything, which is bullshit. I'm sure now being a junior, looks like he's finally healthy, and I think he's ready to show people why he was a top 10 edge rusher in the country coming out of high school. At 6'5", 265, he's very athletic, and in ways reminds me of Aiden Hutchinson. He has good closing speed, has long arms to be able to swat away at the offensive line and get in the backfield, stop the run, and get to the quarterback. Brady McGregor is another one that's on my sleeper alert. A.J. Henning. Of course, you're looking at this like, huh? The fuck is you talking about, bro? He had a breakout year last year. Calm down. Calm your ass down. A.J. is that guy. He's definitely going to take a new step and a big step with making this offense explosive again this year. He's that guy. This offseason, A.J. Henning responded to Deebo Samuel saying that he created a new position called the wideback. He most definitely had explosive moments last year, but overall, I think this year he will completely break out and be the dynamic player, not just on special teams, but as a do-it-all type of guy this season. Every time he gets the ball into his hands, he can go for 6, but I think he's going to improve a lot more with his route running and becoming a nice, dangerous receiver for the quarterback to get the ball to. He's a third-team All-Big Ten performer as a return man. Returned a kickoff for a touchdown last season against Maryland. On offense, he caught 10 passes for 79 yards and carried the ball 9 times for 162 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Remember, 74 of those rushing yards he took to the house against Western Michigan. I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You know the vibes, Blueprint J. I'm out.